Hello. So today marks roughly a week's worth of Uncharted Waters Online with Papaya Play, and I just thought I'd share a little bit of info that many people are probably sort of wondering what is it like for new and old players alike. Um, so first week, it's been a busy old week. Obviously managing your skills again and leveling up and all sorts. At the moment, I'm just taking the opportunity to do a little bit of fishing. No, it's not making for a very exciting video fishing, but I thought I'd take a time at a moment to do a little bit, park up and just sort of talk in general. So anyway, first week with Papaya Play. Well, so far, first impressions, pretty okay to a point. Server I've had no problems with. No disconnects. The only perhaps problem I've perhaps had is if we go into school chats. I think my only criticism is they should have perhaps made a 4, maybe a 5th, maybe a 6th chat, because I've been pretty much full all through that particular week. And perhaps, I mean, fair enough, my own situation, I could probably don't need school chat so much, but I'm kind of thinking of the newer players that the game would attract, and if all the veterans are sort of in school chat, that's not leaving much room for new players to gather information. Of course, players that are in there will help new players, I'm sure. So if you are lucky enough to get into school chat, then brilliant. But if not, I feel as a new player you're slightly doomed. It's just my opinion that I think I should have created maybe a few more chat rooms for school. And that's even assuming that they are able to extend that. Obviously not knowing too much about what Papaya is allowed to change and stuff. I don't know, that might be a curry cook thing. But that's just something I'd say that's perhaps my only complaint so far. The IQ bar, if you like, the health bar, energy bar, whatever bar you call it, IQ bar, that has been filled for the first permits that you have to do or the IQ. That was artificially filled up. I don't think it's a bad thing. Well, I don't think it's a bad thing in terms that they've helped. I think that's brilliant. However, it just came totally out the blue that, oh, they've done it, boom, if you know what I mean. Now, for me at least, it's made me kind of feel like I'm a bit under pressure to try and catch up a little bit. I mean, my plan has pretty much been to stay in EU as long as I can, just kind of gathering up my skill set and kind of get them to some sort of mid sort of level, whether that's level 5, level 6, something around that. Most of my skills, or at least most of my trade skills at least. And then I think the job's a good one, if you know what I mean. I think it kind of then allows us to just expand that little bit more. But unfortunately it is what it is. Hopefully if I do decide to boost it again, which, you know, don't get me wrong guys, I'm not totally against, I'm glad that they have boosted it, but it would perhaps, from my point of view, be better if they said, okay, Monday we're gonna boost it, that means that such and such will be unlocked from Monday, and then that way you can kind of work up to a degree, if you know what I mean. You know, don't get me wrong, I'm all for the boost, I'm all for players that go and, you know, go and open up them areas, you know, don't get me wrong, but I just kind of feel that they could have at least set a date and then open it up, if you know what I mean. Artificially boost it, etc. I mean, I get the point that no one wanted to stay in EU forever, and I completely agree with that. I am totally there, but I just feel at the same time that the players that will essentially have opened up pull reports and just gone pretty much for fame and profit, because at the moment, I mean, you know, you were talking about 200k per pepper. I mean, that is ridiculous amount in the first place, but I just feel that in some ways it just offers a slightly unfair advantage to players that have decided, you know, we'll take our time, we'll level up, get our skills and all that. I mean, don't get me wrong, them players might be punished a little bit later because they might not have the skill set that a lot of us that are staying perhaps in EU will have. but in the meantime they're getting money, a lot of it, and well, yeah. uh but yeah, so that's really my opinion on this booster for the IQs. What's the other update? Oh yeah, the competition thing. The competition thing, to reach level 60, again, I'm not quite sure what to think of that. Yes, I think it's a great little event that Papaya are playing. Um, so I do think at the same time, I think it's pushing people to get the higher levels, and I think it's pushing them to do it without again focusing on their skill set. You know, I'll do the battle, but I won't focus on trade or adventure. You know, I think it's a bit kind of one-sided again. You know, I think what would perhaps be a bit better would be first to I don't know, R15's I don't know, biology or something, and then first to level, I don't know, food trading for trade, and first to, I don't know, maximise gunnery, just for example, type of event, rather than focus on your main overall kind of level. But again, it's just my opinion, but I do think the prizes available have been quite generous. Off the top of my head, it's something like the first 200 that get a prize. So, you know, I don't think that's too bad. Really. Um, as for money flowing in the game, it still seems relatively slow, I think. Some people obviously are making a lot, you know, selling the peppers and all that. Um, but overall, I think a lot of the money has gone into investing into the cities and towns and stuff. Um, so I don't think there's that much kind of money flowing around as such, but there is some sort of flowing now. That kind of brings me on to another point, which is your pay to win arguments. Now, people say you're buying the packages and stuff to win. I think, like most games that I personally have played, I think pay to win in the other games is really noticeable. Now, I don't know if it's just me being blinded or quite what, but I don't think Uncharted Waters is pay to win since new host. I don't know. I personally don't think it is, but it more helps, maybe, so that you can get your slightly faster ship and your slightly better gears, but because our skills have been reset, I'm not seeing it as a pay to win as such. I think it just helps more than win, and I think in any case, kind of what are you winning? Yeah, I mean, obviously with this new stuff like the item plunder and all that, yes, better gear will perhaps help in that, but I'm just not really 100% sure exactly what you're winning, because the whole game is kind of built like you do it at your own pace. There's no end game per se. What is exactly end game, really? Yeah. I mean, I suppose end game you could perhaps class as, oh, I maxed out my battle levels. To some that's probably true. To others it could be leveling out, maximising their trade and adventures, but with all the updates that we're kind of getting through from Asia servers as well, and the great game updates in general, what is end game? I mean, I mean, to me, end game is when you feel that you've completed what you wanted to complete in this game. There's no as such game over screen that says, oh, you've done everything, now go away, kind of thing. It's one of them games that you just continue to shape and mould around your character. I mean, my other complaint, if you like, about Papaya is tickets, and one in particular that I'm having problems with is transferring my third account, which is a Facebook account, and it just feels like it's going round in circles at the moment. Each reply takes like forever to answer. I mean, so far at the moment there's like um, 4 days on my ticket. Now I appreciate we're probably getting tons and tons of tickets, and they're probably only a small team, but I think they could do better. I won't go into too much detail about the problems I'm having, but we'll leave it there. And I think that's about it, really. I think I've addressed everything. I think the future of the game is relatively in safe hands. I wouldn't say it's completely safe, because obviously we don't know what Papaya's like, but I think in general, I think it's safe. So I think that's it for this little video, and hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.